All right, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Mayum coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and his truth and sincerity. And just want to do a quick lesson, going into, the type of spirit that we're supposed to be in. All right, here, and this goes for anybody, man. Whether you're actually a prophet, and you're sent out onto the highways and byways, or whether you're just a believer, man. The things that we need to be, this type of spirit that we need to be in. All right, matter of fact, let's get this in Revelation. Is in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. All right. Revelation 19:10, it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." You see, so we have to be, walking in that testimony, which is walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is prophecy, man. Being, attentive to the spirit and how it's moving upon the earth, man. Because the Lord gave us signs of the times, man, pursuant to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, or Salaki chapter 9. All right, the measuring of the times is through this word, all right, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay, and this word, is included in the word are the prophecies of what would be taking place on the earth, man. So this is the spirit that we need to be in, man, is in the spirit of prophecy. Okay, and just kind of want to get a few precepts on that, man, because this is an important time in history. As we draw close to the end of this world, looking forward to the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, which we know that the beginning of it that followeth is the kingdom of heaven on earth. All right, the rulership of Jacob. Okay, and there's a lot going on the world, in the world, that is indicative of where we're at in time. Okay, so let me get this, and let's start off first and foremost with this in Ecclesiastes. All right, or Salakia, Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies," man. So constantly watching. This is what we've been commanded to do, to watch and to pray. Okay? But you see, this is what you have to be occupied in, man. Meditating on these things. Meditating on what's taking place and how it correlates with the scriptures. Okay, this is why, the apostles, our teachers, the apostles and elders, constantly tell us, man, use the scriptures to filter what you see taking place, man. And this is how you do your lessons. If the spirit's on you, for you to be doing the lessons as a teacher, is to be meditating and filtering articles, filtering, news, and current, basically current events through the scriptures, man. All right, which, you got elders that, elders and other brothers that go through, certain news. You got the head brother from Raleigh, the elder Hawad. He does in the news videos, usually every morning. All right, you got the elder Yashawamba. All right, which he does the current news and various topic lessons. Okay, and various other brothers and elders out here that do these things. And brothers that bring out videos on particular articles, man. This is because this is what we've been commanded to do, man. Okay, to watch, to talk about what's going on the earth, because as we filter what's taking place, you start to notice that we're drawing closer and closer to the scriptures being fulfilled, man. All right, and the scriptures say, let me pull up one precept real quick. Bear with me, Bubba Gashar. It's in the book of Romans. Just get it real chapter 13 and verse 11, it says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake up out of sleep. You see, and how do you know the times, man? Again, we're going to get it, but 2nd Ezra chapter 9 says, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself." And the measuring tool, all right, the measuring instrument, okay, has been given that capable, or the capability of understanding how to use the tool is only been given unto the prophets. Okay? And what do the prophets do? They prophesy. Okay? But what is and that's found in the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. All right? The Lord power surely doeth nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. Okay? So the secrets of the mysteries, all right, the secret of how to filter the world through the lens of the scriptures is only given unto the prophets, man. So that's how you measure thou the time diligently in itself, by going onto the prophets, man, to go to find the understanding of why these things are taking place upon the earth, man. And that's why it's telling us here, Romans 13 and 11, in that knowing the time, because it's been told unto you. Habakkuk chapter 2 talks about that, man, making it plain upon tables. That's the job of the prophets, man, to get these visions that we read about in the scriptures, and we filter those visions through what we see taking place on the earth, and we explain to the people, all right, you Israelites, what this is talking about, and show you in the current news, in the current events, how this is what it's talking about. Like, for example, the MOTB, World War III, which is the third woe. Okay? The collapse of Babylon the Great, which is America. All these things we go through and we filter for you so that you can understand, those of you that believe, what time we're in. So that you have no excuse to say, well, I don't know what time it is. And that's why the scripture is saying here, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed, man. And see, we're closer to the end than we are closer to when these visions were written down, man. Okay, and that's something to meditate upon. We're closer to the end than when we were when these visions than we are from when these visions took place, man, and they were written down. Okay, because we are at the end, man. Really, as in Apostle Gabar, hits on this, often. Really, we've been at the end since Yahushua went up on that cross, man, when he came up on the scene, really. Okay, and Yahushua himself, when he was on the cross, what did he say? He said, "It is finished." He finished his work. Now all he has to do is just wait for the Heavenly Father to send him back down, because the rest of the works of the Heavenly Father, okay, have to play out on the earth before Yahushua can come and bring the salvation. But what? We are nearer to Yahushua's return than before, man. And that knowing the time. And we know this, man. The scriptures talk about, you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. We know what time we're in, man. And that's what matters at the end of the day, knowing the time, man. Okay? Not how many breakdowns you know, okay? Not knowing, this or that, man. It's knowing the times, man. And applying wisdom to maneuver in the world during these times, man, because that's going to be it's going to be important to do, man, is to walk in wisdom, knowing the times, man. Okay, and this is what this precept is going into. Romans 13 and 11, I'll read it again. I'll read down to the end of this chapter, verse 14. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake up out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. And what day is at hand? The day of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, man. The sun rising upon you Israelites, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and your rulership on the earth starting, man. See, the sun is setting on this kingdom, on this current, on these current rulers, man. It's quickly setting on them, and the night is getting ready to come, when all types of mischief and wickedness and evil is going to take place upon the earth, man. Okay? So it says, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. You see, because that's the only thing that's going to be able to get us by in these days, man, is if you have that armor of the light. Okay, because the darkness hated the light, so it's going to retract itself from you. Okay, and that's important to know, man. But again, if you're not occupied in the meditation thereof, okay, if you're not occupied in prophecy, man, which is the spirit being in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, then, hey, man, you're not going to be suited up. You're not going to be found worthy to escape the said perils, man. Which again is in 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Mentions that. Okay, it says, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, man. So this is how we're commanded to walk in these last days, man. Not making provisions for the flesh, feeding your body, feeding the desires of the flesh, the lust and the things thereof, man. The things that the flesh desires to have. We're supposed to be feeding, making provision for the spirit. And how do you make provisions for the spirit, man? Is by obtaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. By going into this word, by going into the current events, by watching, okay, by praying, and your spirit will continue to be fed, man. But when you cut that off, man, and you're more preoccupied about other things, and you're occupied in other things, your spirit is diminished. Okay. So once again, man, this is the what we're supposed to be involved in. Let's get this and let's go now to 2nd Ezra chapter 9. We'll start at the top. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And we run into that already, man. You measure thou the time diligently in itself is through the prophecies, man. And it says diligently because you have to be patient. Things aren't going to all happen all at once, man. The Lord is a master tactician. He's been setting things up move by move, piece by piece. And we have to diligently measure thou the time. Constantly, man. Over a period of time, man. And that's what the prophets have been set up to do for you. Okay? It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And we've been seeing things take place, man. A lot of the prophecies that we go into, okay, that we break down, man, a lot of these visions have already taken place. Okay, the first woe, the second woe. We know the third woe is nigh upon us. It's in the beginning stages. Okay, and other various topics, the spirit entering back in onto us and us standing upon our feet, that's already taken place. Okay, was that Revelation chapter 11, I believe. Okay, that's how we're now understanding. Okay, I see this, I see that, I see this took place. We see the 1 hour with the beast. The kings having power 1 hour with the beast, which is going into the NATO EU, or the Treaty of Rome, which is the beast that the scriptures talk about, the NATO EU nations. All right, America being that whore that sitteth upon the beast. All these things we know we've already taken place, man. Okay, Daniel's chapter 11 going into the Syrian wars. Those things have taken place, man. That's all history, secular history that you can go into and connect it with the scriptures, man. Okay, verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And what do we see taking place on the earth, man? And yeah, you can make the case, oh, well, that's been happening. There's always been protests. There's always been earthquakes. Yeah, but you know what? Within the last few, let's say 10, 20 years, things have progressively gotten worse and worse. And you cannot disagree with that. No one can combat that. No one can sit there and say that, oh no, things have actually gotten better, because that would be a bold-faced lie, man. Okay? That would be a bold-faced lie. Okay? So then it said what? Then shall thou well understand when you see the uproars and the earthquakes, taking place in the world, man. And Yahushua, all right, he mentioned these things as well, man. The earthquakes and the uproars of the people, kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. Okay. Yahushua mentioned this to his disciples of what would be taking place before he returned. Okay. Verse 5, 2 Ezra 9:5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. You see, we're seeing the end manifesting, man, right before our very eyes. But what? If the Lord has put you into a deep sleep, you're not seeing these things. You're not seeing the end manifest. And that's why ultimately you're lost in the sauce. Because you've been blinded. Some of you have allowed yourself to be blinded by these false prophets out here, man. These grievous wolves that have put the veil over your eyes, man, by teaching you lies. And the Lord has given you over to that deception because, as the scripture says, the deceived and the deceiver are his. You're in the hands of the Lord. He's making you go after these things, man. He's not letting you see the light. Okay? It goes on to say, verse 6, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And even the prophecies that were to take place in the end, they started off with great wonders and powerful works. Great things began to be done after World War II. The Treaty of Rome, the EEU, all right, or the EEC, the European Economic Community, when those things started getting formed. America coming into power. Those were great wonders and powerful works that the Lord was doing. But now we're seeing the end, and we're seeing the effects and the signs of all these things that have taken place over all these hundreds and thousands of years, man. Esau coming into power, these other nations, being in league and going up under Esau to have some type of status upon the world. Now we're seeing the effects of that, which the nations are starting to wake up to that. They're like, yo, we've gotten duped by these devils. And now, therefore, the nations are mad, as the scriptures tell us, man. Again, more indications of the times that we're in, man. The effects and the signs of all the things that have been taking place, okay, upon the earth. All the history that's been written, that's been recorded, that we can go into into books, go into archives and read about and study and research. Now we're seeing the effects of those things taking place, man. Okay? That's why there's so much uproars of the people and nations rebelling against America. People dropping the dollar. The economy getting worse and worse. Okay? That's why we're starting to see these things, because it's the end. We're seeing the effects, all right, of the end. This is why I said, and the end is manifest. Okay? Verse 7, it says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning, man. And again, this is why it is important, okay, to be occupied in the meditation of these things, man, of the prophecies, okay, of the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, being in the spirit of Yahushai, because this is how we're going to be saved. Because when you meditate and you're occupied in these things, man, you have to believe them. You have to believe in these things and understand and have understanding of what the scriptures are talking about. Okay, you have to understand the truth for what it is, man. It has been made plain by the teachers that are no longer hid in their corners, man. The Lord set up teachers in these last days to show us the way, man, through the spirit of Yahushai. Okay, starting from Abba Bivens, which was who, man? John the Baptist in the reincarnation, which what he do? Led the father or the children back to the fathers, man. Roughly paraphrasing. To show them the way onto Yahushai, man. And those lessons, those breakdowns, that spirit was passed down to the apostles and their elders and our elders, okay, to where we're at today now, where these things have been plainly been written upon tables so that you can pick up your phone, click on a video, and get a breakdown and get an understanding of where we're at in time, man. Okay, now let's go from there. Let me get this in Jeremiah, and then we'll close out on this. Jeremiah 28:8. All right, because again, the prophets, this is what they've done throughout all history, and it's no different in these last days. All right, this wasn't something that all these men that you see out on the highways, out on the corners, as Jake likes to mock, oh, there goes the Hebrew Israelites out on the corner. They're everywhere. Okay, this wasn't of us. We didn't just all come together one day. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna set up different camps. This is the curriculum we're gonna teach. Nah, man, this was of the Spirit that all this happened, man. Because this was the same thing that took place in the ancient world, man. It's just we're in modern times now. Okay? So Jeremiah 28:8, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence, man. You see, so prophets of old and the prophets that came before us, man, this is the same things that they've all taught, man. They heard about certain things taking place. The Lord revealed certain things unto men back in the times. And now we're at the point to where we can look at the scriptures, read the scriptures of the things that took place back then. And as Ecclesiastes 1:9 says, the thing that is, or the thing which is the thing which shall be, roughly paraphrasing, we know that these things are taking place again, man. Okay? The Lord delivering the Israelites from the land of their captivity, man. We're again here in yet this day in the hands of our oppressors, man, and we're getting ready to be delivered because the prophets of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and those that believe are sighing and crying out to the Lord, man, for the abominations that'll be done in the midst thereof, man. We're vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. And the Lord is hearing the cries of this time, the Israel of Israel, and he's getting ready to come down and deliver us, man. And we're seeing and understanding that the Spirit of the Lord is moving upon the earth, man. Okay? So it's important, man, to be occupied in prophecy and be watching and paying attention to what's taking place, man, and stop being up your own ass, man. You had this one Jake, came out doing videos of showing how many hours he's playing on fucking PlayStation and shit, man. Like, come on, Jake. What the hell are you on, man? Get with the fucking program. A lot of you Israelites, man, need to stop being so damn emotional, man, and just move the fuck on, man, and look at the bigger picture, man. It ain't about your fucking feelings, man. It ain't about you. It's about the words of the Lord being fulfilled upon the earth, man. And whether or not you're a part of that word being pushed, that's up to the Lord. But hey, man, make that calling of election sure, as the scriptures say. Okay, and believe and have faith in these things that we see taking place in the word, man. Because this is where all the answers are at in the scriptures of what's to come and how to escape. Okay, so Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the elders, apostles of the great millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and its truth and sincerity. With that, I say shalom.